Hi. Okay, so here I am today with Lea Longo, who's a Montreal-based kirtan artist, musician, and performer. And we're going to have a conversation about the practice of kirtan and singing and creativity and a couple of community building projects that Lea is involved in. And we have cross paths through our various community building activities. So we're going to talk about all that and more this morning. So hi, Lea.
Hi, Roseanne. Hi, everybody.
How's it going?
It's going really great. Really excited to do this. Thank you for doing this with me.
Yeah. So my first question for you is just what exactly is kirtan and how did you discover it?
Okay, well, those are two separate questions. I'll start with what it is, and then we'll go into how I discovered. Well, basically, kirtan is a form of yoga. It's a yoga of sound, and the official term is actually called Nada Yoga, and it's a term that is over 2,000 years. That was 2,000 years old in India, and basically, yoga is, as we know, means to yoke, or it's called union. So it's a yoga of sound, Nada Yoga, where we use sound and consonants in order for us to liberate our mind by the continuous repetitious use of mantras. And if we would take the word mantra, what is mantra? Man is mind, and tra means to free, liberate our mind. So in kirtan, we use these mantras for us to liberate our mind and to let go of all the thoughts of the day and what have you, in order for us to connect within and connect with our divineness. So in a kirtan class, there's many forms of kirtan. The one I do is Nada Yoga, which is, like I said, the use of sounds and melodies. We basically chant these mantras in a repetitious use. So basically, I'll chant a melody and a text, a mantra, which is a sacred text. And then the participants will chant back. And we keep doing this over and over. And eventually, this becomes a meditative state. And the people, once they let go of their thoughts and really enter into the mantra itself, they start feeling the effects of the mantra. And hopefully it's very blissful. For me, every time I do a kirtan, I dive into a blissfulness, through chanting these mantras. So a kirtan, in essence, it's like a meditation. It's Nada Yoga, that is. Kirtan as Nada Yoga, because then you have also Bhakti Yoga, which is a different form of kirtan. And so in essence, it's a meditation, an easy way to just liberate our mind and connect within. And for the second question is basically, I've been a singer all my life. I've been doing always jazz, pop, and different forms of singing. And I was introduced to kirtan a few years back when I visited India. And I had no idea of what this was. It's over 6 years now, in 2006. And so I went to India. I was actually searching for my yoga. And so I looked up, India retreats in India, and there was this group on yoga chanting. And I was like, yoga chanting? That's interesting. I've never heard of that. So I went to a retreat in India. And like a lot of people in our first time kirtan classes, it was the first time, and we were just sitting down and chanting these mantras. And it was unbelievable of what I felt when I was chanting these sacred texts. I've been writing music all my life, and never had I felt a deep connection with my heart as when I started singing these mantras in this group setting. And so immediately after my India trip, I realized that, geez, I really had found my yoga. And I was introduced to kirtan that way. And I took everything that I learned, and I did a lot of studying and research. And I came back to Montreal and just basically dove into chanting and kirtan and yoga of sound. And I even took a workshop with Russell Paul, which is renowned for yoga of sound. And became a Kundalini yoga instructor, which has a lot of chanting as well, and just got introduced that way, and been doing it ever since.
Nice. So when you came back to Montreal and started performing and sort of taking kirtan into the community, what was the reception from people? Like, what was the level of interest, and what did they think about it?
Well, at first it was quite challenging because I realized that it is a new form of yoga here in Montreal. Although in different parts of Canada, Rad and I, who's my partner, musician partner, we had been traveling, and we went to Toronto as well, and even Buffalo and the surrounding areas, Vermont. And I noticed that it was quite more developed in those cities. And so every time we came to Montreal and did a kirtan, it was always a few number of people. And this was, like I said in the very beginning. And so I realized that there was a need for that here, that people aren't aware that there is a different form of yoga that they can access for them to connect with their divineness and meditation and what have you. So I started a group, a Montreal kirtan community, and just been developing it ever since. And more today, every time we do a kirtan here in Montreal, there's always a good, very, very good number of group of people, always a minimum of 20 people, which is nice because it shows that there's a need for it, and people are hearing about it, and it's growing. And in every time, in every class, there's always a first-timers. I'd say 50% of the people that come as well, it's always a new time for them, a first time. And so it's really wonderful to share this with them. So at first it was challenging, and now it's just growing into a beautiful community, which is available to Montreal as a different form of yoga.
Yeah. And I get the feeling that community is really important to you. And we'll segue into the two yoga festivals happening in Montreal this summer that you're involved in. So what motivates you to build and connect to community through yoga and through kirtan?
For sure. Well, first of all, kirtan for me, it fulfills me in all ways, and it helps also myself rediscover the heart space and the divineness within myself. And I find that every time I lead a kirtan, it does the same for the participants, because in kirtan, it's not about the musical aspect; it's about the heart aspect that allows people to connect. Everybody is chanting together. I chant a melody, but they chant with me, and eventually we are one voice. And I think by having this one voice, where the lines are invisible, there's no lines, there's no performer and audience. It really is one group. And so by having that theme and that essence, it's such a beautiful yoga to share. And so being part of this community really allowed me to expand myself and to share that with others. And then I realized that here in Montreal we have a beautiful summer. It's there's festivals. We have the Jazz Festival. We have the Juste pour Rire festival. We have many things going on in the summer, but we never had a yoga festival. And yoga is becoming very popular here as well. So I thought it would be so wonderful to organize such a festival. So I'm so proud to be involved in two different festivals. One of them being the Yokomo Festival, which is primarily yoga. And then the second festival, which is the Montreal Yoga Music Festival, which is primarily a chant festival with some yoga classes. And so by having this accessible to people, it gives them, kind of like initiation to those who have not done yoga in the past, even the physical form, but also in the chanting form. The Yoga Music Festival will give them a chance to experience this with diverse kirtan artists, especially in our local community. And I think that's very important for us, for Montreal, to have that community-based and have that chanting experience as one.
And Lea, I understand that you will be part of the first annual Yoga Festival Montreal as well. So can you tell me a little bit about the Kirtan extravaganza that you've got planned for that event?
Yeah, I'm really excited because for the Friday night kirtan for the Yoga Festival of Montreal is we're going to be I'll be leading a kirtan the Friday night at the Conservatoire de Québec et Musique d'Art Dramatique on June 8th at 8 o'clock. So it's going to be wonderful because we'll have a nice lineup of musicians, and the energy is just going to be amazing. It will all be connecting into blissful divineness.
Yeah, I think it's a great way to kick off the weekend. So that'll be the Friday evening, and then Saturday and Sunday will be full of asana classes and workshops and meditation and discussion about yoga and spiritual practice. I think it's going to be an amazing weekend, and we're glad to like really start it with a big om.
Yeah, big om, everybody.
Can you tell me a little bit more about the yoga and music festival and what you're planning for it, and what the form will take of the days and the festival? How will it look?
Yes, the Yoga Music Festival is going to be held this summer, July 14 and 15 at the Concordia Loyola campus on Sherbrooke. It's going to be outdoors. And basically, it's 2 days of chanting, almost ongoing, one after the other on the bliss of stage of bliss, as we call it. And we're, primarily it's going to be 80% local artists, local Montreal kirtan artists. And then I have a few more artists as well that are coming from Ottawa and Toronto as well to complete the lineup. And it's going to be really wonderful because everybody's going to bring in their own styles of singing and own styles of call and response chanting. And then also what's wonderful about the Yoga Music Festival is we'll have also some yoga classes as well in a yoga tent. For instance, with Dr. Bali, who's a renowned yoga teacher, and also Shabbat Kalsa, who is also a renowned Kundalini yoga instructor, which I'm also attached to as a Kundalini yoga instructor. So we'll have a Kundalini afternoon as well, where also kids will be able to take some classes as well, some yoga, kids yoga classes as well. So we'll have a kids corner, a chanting stage, and a yoga tent, a few yoga classes during the event of Saturday and Sunday evening. And obviously, we'll have also a wonderful marketplace with different yoga accessories and different products that everybody will enjoy.
Yeah. Well, I think it's really interesting that the programming is 80% Montreal, and it's just, I get the feeling that you discovered this community through your own community building and through your own reaching out and bringing people together. So I think that's really, it's almost kind of like the full bloom of all the seeds that you've been planting for the past 5-6 years. So that's really exciting. Well, I wish you best of luck with both festivals, and I'll definitely be at the Yoga Festival Montreal. And,
you in both.
Yeah. But thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me, and I'm going to hit stop now.